If you come into a situation with a two-hand collar grab where you're going against somebody that's bigger or stronger than you, you're going to have to take a different approach on how to break away those grips, because it's not going to be a simple thing as just ripping the grip off your shirt. As always, when it comes to these situations, if you're in some sort of confrontation, you feel like something's on the horizon, you don't know what it is quite yet, but you feel that this person's about to attack you, punch, push, whatever the case is, better safe than sorry, just kind of casually put your hands up. You don't need to put your fists up like you're ready to fight. Just casually put your hands up. That way, if this person does reach in, it's a simple block the hands out of the way, and they're never going to get those grips on you in the first place. But let's assume for this situation, this person has latched on. Now, the person's bigger than you, they're stronger than you, they have a tight grip. I'm not simply going to be able to just rip the hands off. I can't feed these hands through. I'm not going to be able to reach the head. If this person is moving you around a little bit, that's also going to make it a little bit more difficult. But we still do have a couple options. Now, notice that most people, when they do a collar grab, are not going to have their arms fully extended. When he's grabbing onto your collar, he's going to grab on. Elbows are going to be bent a little bit. So I can work on a couple techniques in which I'm collapsing these elbows. So a few options that you have here. Again, do this immediately as soon as this person locks this grip, and a lot of times you'll be able to catch this person off guard. So the first option you have, simply grab behind the elbow. The same time that I'm pulling this person in, I'm also going to step in at the same time. Buckle their elbows a little bit, and all I'm looking to do is take my head and drive it directly into their face. If the person's a little bit taller than you, then you're going to be driving directly towards the throat. But either way, grab the elbows, I step, I pull, and I'm going to drive my head forward. Now, I can assume that once I've made this contact with my head, at least one, if not both hands, are going to come off immediately just due to the impact alone. And as soon as you feel those grips break, follow up with an elbow if you need to, follow up with heel palm. Now I can grab the head and throw my knees if I need to. If you want to, from this motion here, I can instantly go into a clinch position and either try and just control the person from here. I can work and get to side control, back control. You can take the person down. You have a ton of different options out of that point. But the main idea is the second he locks on, I come in and I just drive my head through. Again, depending on the size of the person, that may not work right away, so you still do have other options. If this doesn't work and you feel like nothing's moving, utilize your feet and see if you can get away or some sort of reaction from that. So I can easily pick up my foot, kick out that far leg, kick straight for the groin, kick for the close knee. Again, if that now allows me to buckle the elbows, then I can follow up, grab the head, throw in strikes, throw in your knees, take the person down, and again, we go with those other options. Now let's just assume none of that's working. You've still tried it the first time. This person's not coming in. I'm throwing kicks, nothing's happening. I still need some way to break this grip. Now, again, because the person's bigger than you, we have to think of a bigger, stronger motion to break these grips rather than quick ones. So the one that I recommend in this case is taking your one arm, bringing it all the way across, locking it up nice and tight up by your face with a nice tight fist. I'm not looking to grab the wrist or grab your own shirt. Just simply bring it up. If anything, you'll notice that this person's arms start kind of getting arched and stretched out a little bit. Once this happens, I now take my other arm. I'm going to step in. At the same time, I'm going to strike as hard as I can and press these arms all the way across the body. A couple things are going to happen from here. One, it's going to work. Come across, boom, break the grip. Awesome. If that case it doesn't work though, I come here, nothing happens. Now this could be for one of two reasons. Again, this person's bigger than you, so when I do this motion, nothing's going to happen, and instead he's kind of just going to shuffle a little bit. Or I'm going to continuously try and do this motion, he's just going to keep walking and turning, and again, we're still in the same position. So you do have an option if that doesn't work, while still maintaining this grip. In regards to the hands, I can continue doing this motion with the strike, or instead, as soon as I bring this hand up, I lock my hands together and I'm gonna brush with my elbow and my shoulder. But what I'm gonna do is now take my back leg, reach across his body, and just simply use this as a post. So as I start pressuring his arms and upper body this way, he's gonna start tripping over my leg, and now as he becomes more focused on that, he's gonna realize that, okay, I need to let go to regain my balance. And as he lets go, I continue to step through, and now we end up in this position. Again, we could come to another couple options. I can either turn and just simply create that distance and get away from the situation before he comes into me, or again, because he is, very close to my back, throwing a couple elbows here, I can turn, you can, go back into another clinch situation, throw in another few strikes, or get away. We have pressure tested this though to the point where once we get here, if this person does decide to take your back, unless you are just incredibly slow, you're going to have plenty of time once we get into this position where even if he does try and take your back, I'm able to get that distance right away. So you don't necessarily have to worry about this person jumping on top of you, again, unless you're extremely slow in that situation. But otherwise, you get in here, act immediately, create that space, or get in your strikes. He's grabbing on nice and tight, nothing's working, I can't buckle in. So we lock, I get my hands, and we break that grip off. Again, instantly go for your strikes, and we create that distance. So you can chain these together. Again, as always, try and chain your moves together. I can initially start with this one. If I get the headbutt, great. If not, that's fine. I can still move on to the second one. Or if I do the headbutt and for whatever reason the guy's still holding on, as soon as I come back from that, instantly work into this move. We step through and we go into the strikes. Now, I recommend, on one last note, when you are doing this movement, especially if it is someone bigger than you, I recommend that when you do this, just go ahead and add in this leg regardless. Don't try and do this move without it. If it's someone your size or a little bit smaller, this should be no problem. But again, the bigger the person is, the harder the grip's going to be to break. So you might as well just add in this little extra step. Guarantee that you get that grip break, throw on your strikes, and get away. So give those options a shot. Try it out. Live test it, pressure test it, whatever you want to do, and let us know what you think.